Fit for Fit for Life Radio. Your hosts, Gary and Will.
Host with the most.
And this week we are going to be talking about the military diet. So in our group, our Facebook group, Fat Loss Secrets for Busy Adults, we kind of just had a post, what diets have you tried? And everyone in the group kind of chimed in with, diets they've talked about.
Every diet under the sun.
When we say diet, it's kind of like its own buzzword now. So technically, everyone's on a diet. Whatever we're eating is our diet. But I think we all know when we say diet what we mean, which is normally when people enter in some kind of strict rules and regulations of eating. And they're typically, you're in the mindset of, I'm going on this diet. So things like, the South Beach diet, Whole30, keto, those were a lot of the common answers, right? But one that someone mentioned was the military diet, which I had never heard of. And they said it was kind of like a jump start or a kick start. And yeah, so I had to Google it, check it out.
So this isn't the diet that the military puts you on when you join?
No. That was my first thought. What is it, like eating MREs or something?
That's what I thought.
But so we're going to break it down. And there's you'll see some of the underlying principles, some of the good things. But really what we want to share is how you can have these things that anyone can kind of just make up. I have no clue where it came from, how it coined the phrase military diet. I think because there's you'll see when we go over these weird specific food prescriptions they have. But yeah, we'll also say why we're going to point out, well, if someone does this, why it will work, why they maybe will lose a bunch of weight, especially up front, and also what the issues with this are and how you can extract the principles, and then apply them
broadly
to something sustainable and realistic. So we will start with...
Let's just dig in, man.
The general...
Let's talk about the structure.
I'll
go over it. It's a 3-day diet. So I guess the premise is you'll do this for 3 days a week, and then you take off 4 days and basically eat, we'll say normal, whatever you would normally eat. So it's 3 on, 4 off, and you just do that until you've hit your goal or whatever happens.
And in theory, this will work. So then when you look it up, there's lots of like YouTubers, who kind of like document themselves doing it. And yeah, like people lose between 3 and 10 pounds, right? And the reality is, so like we talk about, well, weight loss ultimately comes from a calorie deficit, right? If you create
somehow
a calorie deficit, you'll lose weight. Now, one thing we've also talked about is if you have a huge calorie deficit, aka kind of like crash dieting, most of the weight you lose up front is going to be not just body fat, which is what we want to lose. It's going to be, water weight, glycogen, food volume in our actual stomach, poop.
Always.
So
people always forget about that, man.
You have to realize when you crash diet, and I get it. I know people like to kind of leverage some motivation and like have these jump starts. So there can be some benefit to that. But ultimately, the problem is, and we don't realize this when it's happening, when we do these things, it starts creating these mental expectations and that become obstacles and roadblocks and create issues, right? Because then we think, well, I did lose 10 pounds on this diet eating these exact foods, so those must be like good foods, or I have to be on this diet to lose weight.
This is the only way I can lose weight, and that, it like shuts out everything else on the outside that might help you.
Well, and then everything else gets labeled, right?
Yeah.
Well, if this helped me lose weight, these are good, everything else is bad. And then if you eat everything else, guilt, shame, all this, so then you just go on this cycle, and it's hard to break, right? So it's more, if you truly understand what's going on, it can be fine if you're in control and making these choices and understand. But if you don't, then yeah, it leads to a lot of a poor relationship with food, with eating. So we're going to, again, go over the details, the principles, pull out these principles, and help you hopefully feel like you have a better understanding. And yeah, and where you should end up.
And maybe give you a good idea on how to do that for like any other diet out there, and you can kind of see past the weird details of a diet and see like, well, what does this really offer? And then you start to see a lot of similarities between diets too.
Yeah. So the military diet, so we'll dive into, it's this very strict 3-day meal plan that's like a meal prescription, right? So
they have a shopping list, everything.
These are popular, and people like it because there's no thought, right? Literally just eat these.
Just do this.
Eat these exact foods.
Which we know like can work until, because if you rely on that, well, what if you don't have any of those foods?
Yeah.
Or what if
you don't like
What
them?
if you don't like those foods? Then there's panic because it's like, oh my God,
it's
not on the sheet. What do I do? And then it's usually game over after that.
Or there's panic in that this is miserable. I hate this. This is what I have to do to lose weight, though.
Yeah.
And
then it's a negative experience.
Mm-hmm. And so the good thing about this is, like we said, when we talk about, well, it's giving us portions and stuff. So it's controlling for our intake.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we'll come back. What are the principles of weight loss, fat loss? Is you need to get in a calorie deficit. That's done through controlling our intake of food, right? So we've ultimately also broken all this down, kind of logged it, tracked it, and it ultimately comes down to about 1,000 calories a day. It's also a decent amount of protein. There's fruits and vegetables. So again, like there's also a lot of calcium, decent amount of calcium. So
it's not terrible. Really?
It's not terrible. It's just, you'll see when we get into it, it's very odd, really weird meals, really weird portions. And like, like if you do this, you will lose weight, like 100%. You're eating 1,000 calories a day. And, but again, that's not going to be sustainable.
Yeah. How sustainable or enjoyable is this?
Yeah. So we'll give you our thoughts.
Let's get into it.
First, we'll get into it. So the military diet. I still don't know why it's called the military diet.
That's what I've been trying to figure out. Like, did someone just go like, oh, this is strict, let's call it the military diet?
I feel like the saltine crackers, like maybe that's because you would only just eat saltine crackers if you're like in war and you're sitting in a ditch and like you pull out a package of saltines.
I'd rather just die.
That's my visual. Well, anyways, so here we go. You want to roll? You want to
start it off?
Start it off with day one.
Day one, breakfast. Which already starts kind of miserable. Half of a grapefruit, 1 single slice of toast, 2 tablespoons of peanut butter, and 1 cup of coffee or tea.
I like how it says, and this is too, like whoever made this, you see the little just kind of weird nuances and just weirdness that are kind of wrong. And it says 1 cup of coffee or tea, and then in parentheses it says
with caffeine.
With caffeine, which ultimately all coffee or tea comes with caffeine unless it's specifically decaffeinated.
So that's your breakfast. Half of a grapefruit, which that's a real divisive subject.
Well, it goes back to, I wonder, did they pull that from past fad?
Because that's always been present
diets?
in a lot of diets.
Well, remember, there was the grapefruit
diet. Yeah.
So, interesting.
And then peanut butter, which everybody knows is my favorite protein source.
Peanut butter toast. But then on its surface, there's complete protein between the peanut butter and toast together.
Because it's a whole wheat toast as well.
Grapefruit is a fruit. So there's protein, fats, and carbs, right? Yeah. And so it's like, okay, but it's just really tiny portions, right?
Yeah.
That would be like 200 calories of food.
Yep.
So
lunch.
Half a cup of tuna, 1 slice of toast, 1 cup of coffee or tea.
Don't forget the caffeine, though.
And the thing with me, when you start like piecing these together, is they're just like weird meals. Like who's gonna eat?
So at least make it an enjoyable meal. You guys aren't ready for the best one.
You tell someone half a cup of tuna and 1 slice of toast, like, okay, I guess you're either just eating the toast by itself and eating the tuna by itself, or you're putting the tuna on
the toast.
The toast. Okay. So again, though, it's a little bit of protein, carbs. No extra kind of calories sneaking in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So again, as you see, it's just very restrictive, very crash-like, very low on calories. Dinner, 3 ounces of any type of meat, 1 cup of green beans, half a banana, 1 small apple, 1 cup of vanilla ice cream.
1 cup. When you think about only 1 cup of ice cream, that's not a lot of ice cream.
Yeah, I mean,
but you still get a sweet treat.
Yeah, I mean,
that is.
It's again. Now there's a good principle here, which is they work and you'll eventually see there's ice cream every day. So it's giving you that little discretionary, a sweet treat, which is a great principle. And for a lot of people, Yeah, a little flexibility, right?
And you're getting some meat and then fruits and veggies as well.
Now, things, right, from lessons for you to take away, it's like half a banana and one small apple, right? So a small apple, half a banana is about 50 calories, and a small apple is about 50 calories.
So just you could eat the whole banana.
If you want it, you could just have the whole banana. Like these are like these weird, like specific, like prescription, like
it's almost like it's overly specific just to be novel.
And then people think, oh, I can only eat half a banana. But the reality is, like, you could have the whole banana and skip the apple, or you could have a huge, large apple, or you could have no banana and no apple and swap it out for another serving of any fruit that tickles your fancy.
Yeah.
You could have a cup and a half of pineapple. You could have, blueberries. Like, it doesn't have to be like these exact foods.
There's nothing
right?
magic about a half a banana and an apple.
Yeah. What if you don't like bananas? What if you don't?
What if you're allergic to bananas?
Yeah. So that's one thing we want you to take away is, don't do these like strict prescription like meal plans.
Yeah.
Think more like a template. But again, this is so low in calories and crash.
Yeah. I wouldn't even recommend this as a template, but
yeah, it gets better.
Yep.
So
all right, I got breakfast. So breakfast, not crazy. 1 egg, 1 slice of toast. Here comes that half a banana again.
Half a banana.
Which, again, on its surface, you have eggs, which are a good source of a lot of micronutrients. You got protein, you got fat, you got your carbs with your toast, and you got your fruit with the banana. So, like, on its face is not terrible. It's just a small
again,
meal.
it's about 200 calorie
Yeah.
breakfast. Lunch.
You want me to do lunch so you can do dinner?
Yeah.
All right, lunch. Again, like this actually not bad. 1 cup of cottage cheese, which is, something we would generally recommend to people as a good serving of protein. 1 hard-boiled egg and 5 saltine crackers.
So weird.
Which the saltine's like not my choice for anything. But still not bad. Like it's a decent selections.
Yeah. And just so you know, so 5 saltine crackers is technically a serving on the package.
How many calories is it?
And it's
60 calories.
100.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So it's like 10 grams of carbs.
Got it.
So, I mean, you could plug in any 100 calories you want, really. If you're not thrilled with saltine crackers, you could have a 100 calorie Oreo snack pack. Something, but yeah. So again, weird, like saltine crackers.
Let's
okay.
hit up that dinner, Daddy.
Dinner. 2 hot dogs without bun. one cup of broccoli, half a cup of carrots, half a banana, half a cup of vanilla ice cream. What a weird meal.
That actually almost seems like a meal you would give a 4-year-old.
Yeah, like on a little plastic plate.
Cut up the hot dogs.
Yeah, they're cutting little slices,
Yeah.
and the hot dogs are in like the little corner.
Yeah.
With the little separators, and then there's like some broccoli, and then the carrots, and then the half a banana.
And then the ice cream's up by
Ice
itself.
cream. Again, so they have the ice cream. You see, like, cool, something to look forward to. But
Got your veggies and fruit. But the hot dogs are just a strange choice.
and honestly, hot dogs, I mean, they're not the best choice because they're processed meat. They're very high in fat, very low in protein. But even if we just say, okay, the calories, 2 hot dogs are about 220 calories, right? So you could replace that with any other protein source, right? Like you could have 8 ounces of chicken breast would be about 200 calories and more protein. You could have 200 calories of ground beef. You could have 200 calories of
eggs.
Eggs. You could have 200 calories of tofu. It doesn't have to be hot dogs, right?
Yeah.
Now maybe that's some of the appeal is like we want these weird suffering food choices, but again, just
Hey, here's a question. Are they plain hot dogs too?
If you know me, you know I'm always on the run, up early and home late, so having a 3-hour morning routine isn't really in the cards for me. What is in the cards is AG1. It's a fast way to get vitamins and minerals I need to perform. I first gave AG1 a try because I wanted a single solution that helps support my entire body by filling in nutrient gaps and simplifying my morning routine. Since drinking AG1 daily, I've always felt strong and energized and ready to attack the day. Not only does AG1 deliver my daily dose of vitamins, minerals, pre- and probiotics, and more, it's a powerful, healthy habit that's also powerfully simple. It's one scoop, mixed in water, once a day, and every day. I know that AG1 is giving my body high-quality nutrition. Every batch of AG1 goes through a rigorous testing process, so you know that it's safe. And AG1 ingredients are sourced for absorption, potency, and nutrition density. AG1 is a supplement that I trust to provide the support my body needs daily, and that's why I'm excited to welcome them as a new partner. Here is your chance to start every day this season with a gift to yourself. Try AG1 and get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3K2 and 5 free AG1 travel packs with your first purchase exclusively at drinkag1.com/provengrit. That's drinkag1.com/provengrit. Check it out.
No mustard, no ketchup.
And let's go even further, right? So really this meal it's actually pretty low in protein. So it's like only 10
grams of protein.
And then there's the broccoli and carrots, which aren't much. We'll just say like 50. And the banana, so 50. So again, it's like a 3, we'll say, and then there's the ice cream, but we'll just keep that separate, right?
Yeah.
So like a dessert. So it's like a 300-calorie meal. But it's a weird meal, like we said. It's like the hot dogs, broccoli, carrots, and a banana. If you want it, and for me, when we're working with clients, like people think in meals, right? Mm-hmm. So why not have 300 calories of like a beef and rice bowl, right? So like that's like 6 ounces or 5-6 ounces of ground beef with half a cup of rice, or like cauliflowered rice
and some broccoli
and
or
some
something.
broccoli or spinach stirred in, and then it's like this bowl. It's a meal that people can conceptualize, right? Why not have 330 calories of like little tacos, right? You could get the low carb wraps with some grilled chicken strips
or some ground turkey
and some
or
lettuce and tomato, and make 2 little
and some salsa. You're set.
Yeah, you can make,
and it tastes good.
300 calories of little tacos,
and you don't have to eat plain hot dogs on a plate.
Yeah. So now let me ask you this: so you feel like you're sitting here eating this hot dog and half a banana? Like, yeah, that's not gonna be sustainable. I mean, you may love that meal, but ultimately, think we can do better, right? Think. And I can have tacos. I can have a beef and rice bowl. Like, what matters is just the portions. Now and again, and these portions are way small. That's why people lose a lot of weight.
Yeah, that's why this works.
So, but why not have bigger portions, 500 more calories a day? You could have bigger portions. You lose weight at a slower, more sustainable rate, but with meals that you enjoy, and thus make it sustainable.
Yeah, and then part of it, like, this reinforces that, like, you have to suffer to lose weight too, because nobody's enjoying this. Mm-hmm. Nobody's looking forward to this, and so it's like that suffering becomes a part of it, and the expectation.
And again, then at the end, half a cup of ice cream. But also, ice cream. What if ice cream's not your thing, right?
Well, what can I put in there now?
So half a cup of ice cream is...
How many calories is that? I have no clue.
150, right? Okay. So you could have, or at least of this Breyer's vanilla ice cream I've pulled up.
What, 2 to 3 Oreos?
Yeah, or you could have whatever, the equivalent amount of gummy worms. You could have the equivalent... 2 probably about a Reese's peanut butter cup or 2s like that.
The equivalent amount of popcorn. We know that if you listen to one of the last few episodes.
You can get a lot.
It's a lot.
So yeah, like that's the thing. It doesn't have to be ice cream, right? So make it what you want.
Day 3? Let's go. Let's finish it up. Breakfast, day 3, 5 saltine crackers, 1 slice of cheddar cheese, and 1 small apple. Honestly, probably the worst meal out of the most, out of all of them.
That meal is like, reminds me of like...
It's like a charcuterie board.
A snack you get when you go to your grandma's house.
Yeah.
In summer, it's like 2 p.m. You just finished playing outside.
You get that crisp apple.
And the grandma always has saltine crackers. And then it's like, you want some cheese?
Put a little
crackers?
cheese on it. But like, yeah, you have...
Bro, if I'm eating that for breakfast, I would rather just not eat.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm skipping it.
What is that like? We said the 5 saltine crackers.
It's 100 calories.
Was it even 100 or like 50?
You said 100.
Then that slice of cheese. It's like a
slice of cheese is what?
Again, it's like a 200
maybe?
calorie meal, man.
And then here's the thing with it, that compared to some of the other ones, like the protein in that meal is real low.
Yeah.
Like you got like, there is an amount of protein and cheese, but
Probably
one
like
slice of cheese
5 grams.
isn't giving you much.
Yeah.
So out of all of them, that might be one of the worst ones because there's no real protein source in it.
I also noticed, now I'm looking at it, each day gets a little smaller in calories. Because then the day 3, so that's the breakfast. The lunch is 1 hard-boiled egg, 1 slice of toast. And then the dinner, 1 cup of tuna, half a banana, and 1 cup of...
What a really weird combination. Tuna, banana, ice cream.
Yeah, 1 cup of vanilla ice cream. So it's just weird.
That is.
It's sad.
Yeah. And, like, if you look at just kind of the bones of that, like, yeah, tuna is a good source.
Yeah.
Of a
So
lot
it's
of
your
stuff.
protein, you're getting some carbs, you're getting some fat.
Yeah, like, it's
From
not
ice-
bad, nutrient-wise.
Yeah. And
But food choice-wise, it sucks.
so that's it. And yeah, here's the thing. If you do this, like we said, it works out to about, on average, 1,000 calories a day. It's 3,000 calories-ish for those 3 days. You're going to lose weight.
Yeah.
I mean,
It'll
look,
drop your weekly calories if you
'Cause-
think about it as an average across your week.
You're not eating all the stuff you were eating, and you're eating these things. And again, like, ultimately, whatever, like, any of these foods are fine. Like, we laugh and joke on...
Yeah,
but
some
like,
of the choices are weird, but
it's all fine, but is it sustainable for you? You know, are these meals...
does everything on this list, do you like it?
Because ultimately, you would just need to... If you wanted to crash diet, like, this would be a crash diet.
Yeah.
Like, and... Well, at least crash diet, you could do 1,000 calories a day on, like we said, any other combination. But ultimately, why not? The goal should never be to eat as little as possible.
No.
It should always be to eat as much as possible.
While still maintaining your goals.
Say your goal is to lose weight. Well, let's eat as much as possible while losing weight, right? So that's the mindset you want to have. And then again, like, you want to be careful of these, like, meal plan traps. And again, maybe it can be a good start if you just feel like your stuff's all over the place and you just need some focus.
And you know, something else it does well, there's no snacking.
Yeah.
It's like you eat these 3 meals and that's it. And like that might actually help somebody get a little more structure and not feel like they need to snack all the time.
Yeah.
So like another positive principle associated with this that we encourage, a lot of people to try.
Well, and then if someone's like needs some structure like this, now what we would prefer, and it's subtle differences, but they're massive on the one thing that we want to watch out for, like we talked about early in the podcast, which is developing mental issues, right? And food fear, food guilt, and a poor relationship. So you can shift from these like drastically low calories to a little more moderate and have it in a template format, right?
So you can swap foods in and out based on what you like and what you have.
So we could say, hey, if we want people to have, we do, like, the base of this is like protein foods, fruits and veggies, and then, hey, work in your some treats, discretionary treats, right?
Your ice cream for the day,
Yeah.
whatever that may be.
So like a base template we give people is like have 3 protein-based meals, so very similar to this, and like breakfast, lunch, dinner. But then it would be, trying to get about 80 to 100 grams of protein a day, and this does on average come out to about 70.
So it's actually not the worst.
So it could be, hey, have a serving of protein and a fruit and a carb source, right? Now that carb could be toast, it could be fruit,
Could be saltine crackers.
Within that, it could be blueberries, it could be pineapples, it could be saltine crackers. But you the less restriction on your choices, the better, right? So that you don't feel like, I can only have this one specific fruit. And you would work, so do it like that, template based. And then, hey, there's 250, 300 calories left over of discretionary calories that, you could have however much ice cream that is, or M&Ms, or popcorn, or whatever.
Or eat a couple halves of bananas.
Yeah, or something different every day. Yeah. Those are slight changes that we would make to something like this.
Yeah.
This kind of like crash diet, military diet, people give it a name, so it latches on, and kind of like these specific food choices, I guess, become the brand of it.
Yeah, you become associated with it.
But yeah, it's not like, let's make it better. Let's make it a template. Let's not make it so low in calories.
Yeah.
And let's not label something as like 3 days only, right? Because then now you're also developing the habit of on, off.
Yeah, what do you do on your off days?
Yeah.
Do your off days get crazier because you're restricting? And does that make things even worse for you.
And if you go binge on those days, okay, yeah, you lost 8 pounds on those 3 military diet days, but hey, you actually just gained 12 because you binged on and ended up consuming way more calories that even offset those 3 days.
Yep.
Right? And now you're in a worse place than before, physically and mentally.
Yeah, and now you have a poor relationship with food, and you're eating more calories in a cyclical fashion.
Yeah. So let's think, we don't want drastic calorie deficits. We want slight calorie deficits.
Yes.
We don't want food restriction. We just want food selection, right? And yeah, maybe it's learning those things. You have to learn, if I'm having oats or saltine crackers or Teddy Grahams, I'm going to have to kind of figure out the portions of these things to fit in. But by taking the time to learn that, you have so many more options and selections.
Yeah, that like structure and all of that like creates a lot of freedom, I think.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's our breakdown of the military diet.
So, to summarize, not the worst principles, just like too much of a calorie deficit and strangely restrictive with the food choices. So,
yeah. And we'll also, I didn't want to dive into this, but we will. It also says,
oh yeah, let's do it.
we've done an episode on this in the past. They say, it's funny because they say one thing and then literally go, it just makes no sense, and it's just flat out wrong. They say artificials as far as what to drink. They say mostly water, don't add calories, which is
fine, yeah, to your coffee.
very true. Then they go, artificial sweeteners aren't good for your blood sugar and can cause weight gain. False, not true, scientifically
Absolutely
proven
false.
The theory is that the artificial sweeteners taste like sugar, sends a signal to your brain, your body releases insulin, that causes fat storage, but it's like just incorrect on like multiple levels.
Yeah, it just doesn't happen that way.
So, I mean, here's the thing, use artificial sweeteners every day. If this worked, I would be overweight.
Yeah,
Right?
I mean, same.
if that's how it
Bro,
works.
ginger ale zero every day.
We have most of our clients do, and we've watched people lose 100 pounds, 50 pounds, 20 pounds, all
switching from regular soda to diet soda,
Yep.
or whatever it may be.
So, but then even at that, if they've left it at that and they slid on that, then they go, the only artificial sweetener we recommend on the military diet is stevia or stevia.
Yeah, well,
And you just said artificial sweeteners aren't good for your blood. Like, how can?
what makes that one magic?
Yeah, because it tastes.
Because it comes from a leaf.
It's calorie free and tastes sweet, just like the other ones.
Yeah.
So it's just silly when things like that.
Yeah.
Um,
But that's what most
but
fad or crash diets like
Hey.
this have, those weird rules and very like oddly specific stuff like that. It's just kind of a hallmark of them.
yeah, so it's just hardcore crash diet. Did you see they have a vegetarian and vegan version?
Oh, shit. Shall we open?
So
This will be good.
So it's interesting because it says vegetarian and vegan. So it's technically vegan because it looks like it's the same. Like, I don't see anything that would
I don't
make
see
it.
any eggs.
Yeah.
Baked
bean.
Well, the only thing, the ice cream, they have for vegan, use dairy free.
Okay. Yeah.
So
it's,
that's really
it's definitely
the
all
only one.
vegan. Well, no, because then on day 3 they have cheddar cheese, but then
Yeah.
it says for vegans add
15 to 20 almonds.
almonds. Woo.
I'd have to do the calories on. I'm not
Yeah.
really up to it.
So
on
again,
those.
it's the same thing. It's like super low in calories.
Hey. The breakfast on day 2, I gotta.
Oh man. Oh, this is my worst nightmare. So this is the perfect example of like, if I didn't understand the principles and thought I had to do this to lose weight, I would be miserable.
Hey, day 2. First off, is breakfast is half a cup of baked beans, a slice of toast, and half a banana.
Bro,
Who's out here eating just a half a cup of baked beans for breakfast?
and how does that meal go? Like, do you put the baked beans on the toast?
Maybe.
Do you just eat all 3 separate? Hey, you know what it reminds me of again? It's like a little baby's
Yeah.
plate.
And that's, yes.
Like where you have everything not touching,
Yeah.
and it's just a weird combination you're trying to explore. Oh man! And then look at the lunch, man. How sad! I mean, 1 cup of unsweetened soy hemp or almond milk.
Would rather drink water, for sure.
Half an avocado, 2 tablespoons of hummus, and 5 saltine.
So you're
crackers.
basically, you got things to spread on crackers.
Yeah.
For lunch.
So then I imagine that meal. You have a nice little cup of soy milk or almond milk, and then you would mix together the hummus and avocado, and then maybe like put them on saltine crack. Like, come on, man.
Like, that's actually a terrible meal.
And then, hey,
They had to stick with it, man.
you see the dinner. So the dinner is 2 veggie hot dogs. It's basically 2 veggie hot dogs instead of regular ones, and then the broccoli, carrots, banana, and
Have a cup of
vegan dairy-free ice cream. So weird. And then
the dinner on day 3.
oh man,
Ooh, half a cup of canned chickpeas, half a banana, and a cup of ice cream. That is actually a really sad meal. They really did the vegans and vegetarians a dirty one with this version.
why not just eat rice and beans, man, for all your meals?
Because it's filling. You can spice it up and it
Season it
tastes
up.
good.
These are just weird meals.
Like half a cup of half a cup of chickpeas is no food. It really isn't, man. Like, let me see how many calories. I have no idea. Some foods, how many calories are in them. Chickpeas. 1 cup, half a serving. Dang, there's no way. Half a cup of chickpeas, it says, is 368 calories. I don't believe that.
That can't be true. Canned chickpeas.
I didn't put in canned. Canned chickpea. Oh, there we go. Half a cup's 120 calories. That's more like it. So 7 grams of protein, 21 grams of carbs, 2 grams of fat.
But also too, like, you're getting into some like incomplete territory
incomplete
here.
Yeah,
'Cause,
well,
like,
you're just eating beans for your first meal.
Yeah.
Beans by themselves are not
Nope.
a complete protein.
I don't know, man. That baked bean breakfast.
I'm going to start doing it.
Do me in.
Just baked beans for breakfast.
All right, well, that's what we got. Hopefully we're like making sense to you.
Hopefully you can extract some principles. And again, like, after seeing us break it down or hearing us break it down, maybe you can, do a better job of seeing a fad or crash diet pop up, and you're like, you know what? Like, I kind of understand what they're going for, maybe the good things, but also see the downfalls.
Also new too, ultimately, like, dude, losing 10 pounds in 3 days is not what you're looking. It's not what you're after. No one's like, because more than half of the weight, more than probably 2/3 of the weight that you lose is just stuff that you're going to regain when you like eat a normal
water.
amount.
You're going to poop.
It's stuff that's supposed to be in your body. It's weight that's just normal to carry around. It's not pure body fat.
Yeah. Like, you can only lose a certain amount of body fat anyways. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if there's even a way to lose 10 pounds of pure body fat in a week. I just don't think it's possible unless you're, 700 pounds, right? Like, you have more to lose. So, just monitor that expectation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and as always, too, like I said, we kind of had a little discussion starting this in our Facebook group, free. It's called Fat Loss Secrets for Busy Adults, so you can hit us up in there, social medias. Let us know if you want us to do more.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to pull these apart and see what the bones look like.
More diet reviews, because ultimately all diets are just methods, and if they do work, which they can for people, if it's because they end up hitting the underlying principles, right? So, but once you understand the principles, you can make your own diet, right? Like, and that should be the goal, like, to make something that you can live with. So think about it.
Yeah.
We appreciate you for listening, and we'll be back next week.
See you next time. As always, thanks for listening, guys. If you want to learn more, check us out at coastalfitnessva.com or garydeagle.com. We'll see you next time.